Lastly, with the Deloitte Money League, Aston Villa's wage bill surged to £252 million on revenue of £265 million. Is this concerning for the club? I feel like at the beginning of the year, we kind of spoke about how does a club like Aston Villa handle the fact that they're in Champions League this year, want to be there next year, but not put themselves in a financial pickle?
Yeah, look, again, coming back to the wages to turnover ratio, which is a really good thermometer on the temperature of a club. Aston Villa's now at 96% of turnover being spent on wages. That is big red light flashing territory. That really is pushing things as far as you can go. Now, I say that, I mean, when we look at clubs in the Championship, I think nearly every club in the Championship spent over 100%, which is bizarre. Some of them have been spending up to 170, 180% of turnover on wages. So, but for the Premier League, you really should be trying to keep it round to about 75 maximum. It was always my belief. And Villa at 96 really are pushing the envelope. Now, we've seen a lot of increase in revenue coming through with Champions League last season. Villa still in the hunt for Champions League again. And I think they're going to want to see Champions League again. I mean, they're going to have a good season with Champions League, and they've got the Celtic game coming up on Wednesday, which is a big one to go into the next group stages, which they should do. But they also want to try and back it up next season. Otherwise, there's going to be some selling, I think, next year. So they're right on the edge. They're pushing the envelope, but they are seeing big improvements in where the club is performing. So. The new owners are really pushing it. So listen, it's a brave strategy, but they may have to adjust it if they aren't so successful this coming season.
And we read a report this morning that they may accept an offer for John Duran if it gets up into that £80 million mark. I assume that would solve any of these issues for them moving forward over the next year.
It would seem to give them a lot more breathing space. It does seem that Emery and Duran aren't quite seeing eye to eye. We've discussed before how Duran, there's no doubt, huge talent, but also a bit of a maverick in terms of his behaviour. Young, talented, we've seen it all before many times in football, and he seems to fall into that category. Watkins seems to be preferred to be the one that stays at Villa, but I think, yes, if they get the right price, and that could still happen in January, there's a lot of clubs looking for strikers right now, and if that price can be met, then I think he may well go. But Villa are prepared to do it. I mean, they got rid of Grealish before for the right price. They're prepared to take that risk and move it forward, and quite rightly so. With Monchi there as sporting director, I'm sure they've got a list of people that they can replace Duran with if they get the right price. So Villa, look, they're living dangerously. They're on a tightrope financially, but they're getting results at the moment. But they've got to carry on doing that. Otherwise, there'll have to be adjustments next year, as I said.